Hi, my name is Theodore Chow. Most people call me Theo. I'm a sophomore at Columbia University in the city of New York. Previously I went to Renaissance College, Hong Kong, and I'm intending to major in psychology and economics. This video is the first part to the Student Globetrotters series, and in this video I'm going to talk about Columbia University, its student life, its work culture, the city, a little bit about my experience here, and my advice for applying.
1, 2, 3, let's go!
So to tell you a little bit more about Columbia, what makes Columbia unique is definitely its core curriculum, which basically means that there are a few set of classes that every Columbia College student has to take. These include literature humanities, contemporary civilizations, art humanities, music humanities, frontiers of science, university writing, and so on. From my experience, I thoroughly enjoyed these classes. Even though there is a little bit of reading involved, the class discussions are super rewarding, and the smaller classroom setting means that you get to form a deeper connection with not only your peers but also your professors. Student life on campus was definitely one of my highlights from my time here. Just like the diversity of students who you get to meet. You get to meet so many interesting and talented people, and there's just so many opportunities for you to get involved in clubs and extracurriculars, and so you'll always be busy just meeting people. Not to mention, the city is literally your oyster. And New York is an amazing city to explore. There are museums, restaurants, Broadway shows, concerts, and so much more. I really enjoy exploring the city and all that it has to offer. But what's even better is that you can never really run out of things to do in New York, because Brooklyn, Queens, Staten Island are just like a boat ride or train ride away. The culture at Columbia is definitely work hard, play hard. Everyone I know is super hardworking and puts a lot of effort into their academics. However, once you finish classes on Thursdays, the weekends are always so much fun. And there definitely is a type of person who decides to move to New York. Usually they're independent, determined, resilient, and these are definitely qualities that I see in Columbia students here as well. So to talk a little bit more about my experience, I definitely felt the combination of excitement and fear when I packed my entire life into 2 suitcases and moved from Hong Kong to New York. Especially during COVID-19 and classes being virtual last fall, I was pretty nervous about meeting new friends and attending classes virtually. However, now that I've lived in New York for more than a year, I definitely can say that I feel a lot more at home. Leaving your home and moving to a new city is never easy, and it definitely took some time to adjust and learn how to navigate New York. For example, the subway system was quite complicated at first with all the different uptown and downtown components, but once you understand the basic layout of New York, it becomes more straightforward. I would highly recommend, for example, using Citymapper instead of the traditional Apple Maps or Google Maps, just because it's super accurate with the train times and can get you places quickly. And while the subway is convenient, I also like to travel around the city using city bikes because New York is quite friendly for cyclists. There are so many dedicated bike paths, and Central Park is such a nice bike ride when the weather is nice. Fun fact, the quickest way to get from the Upper West Side to the Upper East Side is through city biking through Central Park instead of the subway, which goes around Central Park. And other than that, I also use my longboard, but honestly, New York is such a walkable city. The general rule of thumb is that if it's under 20 streets, it's walkable, and on nice days, it's a really relaxing way to explore the city and to bump into new things along the way. If you're thinking of applying to Columbia, my biggest piece of advice would be to approach the prompts creatively. For example, for one of my prompts, I wrote a poem instead of a list, and you should also mention what makes Columbia unique, but more importantly, why you would thrive in that environment. When I chose Columbia, I knew I wanted to be in a big city where there were so many opportunities for me at my fingertips, but I also wanted a traditional college campus environment, and Columbia was a perfect combination for me. Overall, Columbia has been nothing but an amazing experience for me. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out. My email is theodore.chow@columbia.edu, and I hope this video was helpful. Thank you for watching.